Okay, dearly beloved, we're gathered here to celebrate.
I can't hear you, Charlie.
Oh, I'll try this. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We're gathered here this evening to celebrate International Women's Day. And my 92nd birthday. Both of which happened several weeks ago. But I called too late to be booked then. And I'm not going to make that mistake anymore. So I have pre-booked the week of March the 8th for 2033. And I hope you all will join me to celebrate my 100th birthday. That's assuming that we haven't all been replaced by robots. Some of you may remember when I was here last year, it was the day before my 91st birthday. I stupidly made an appointment for an ophthalmologist on my real birthday. You guys want to know what I got for my 91st birthday? Macular degeneration. Needless to say, I made no doctor's appointments this year. Tonight I'm going to tell you the story of how my husband and I met. Now, talking to all of you and seeing all of you, this was 1955. So this is ancient history. And it's a wonderfully interesting year, and it's very interesting, if you guys Google it, how the more things change, the more they stay the same. I was 22. I had moved out of my home on Long Island, and I was living in Manhattan. And I would go home on the weekends. I'd go visiting friends, go to the beach, whatever. And this was a very warm summer night in the summer of 55. And I had been outside visiting, and I came home, and I was getting ready to go to my apartment. And I was really thirsty because it was hot, and it was late. And I knew I had nothing in my refrigerator. I was pretty bad like that. So but there was a soda fountain right around the corner from where I lived, and it was owned by two brothers, and they became friends. And remember, the year was 55, so it's very different than today. And they were very worried about me living in Manhattan all by myself. So I thought, I'll stop there and I'll get an ice cream soda. And of course, I go up, they're closed, it's after midnight. Oh, damn. But then I remembered that there was a restaurant and bar around the corner, Cafe Madrid. And New York had recently passed an ordinance where now women were allowed to go to bars without a male escort. That sounds weird to you, I'm sure. But at that day and age, that was a brand new thing. So I'm old enough to drink. I walked in, sat at the bar, ordered a Tom Collins, that was the only thing I could think of. And there was somebody sitting next to me and started chatting, so I turned around, and it was a sailor, but it wasn't an American sailor. He had a Spanish outfit, and he's speaking to me in Spanish and English. He knew more English than I knew Spanish, but I talked to everybody, so we're chatting. And then I happened to look up at the bar. You know, sometimes bars have mirrors sometimes. Well, I saw a pair of brown eyes looking at me. I looked back, and then I turned around and started talking to the sailor again. And after a while, the brown eyes, with a body attached, walked around and stood back at me and said, "Have you ever had Spanish food?" I said, "No. I would like to buy you dinner." Well, I looked at him, and he looked like he was a Jewish musician. I thought, how dangerous could he be? So we went into the restaurant part. We ordered paella, we ate, we chatted. Before you knew it, was 3 o'clock in the morning. And he said, "Where do you live?" I said, "Around the corner there, I walked you home, blah, blah, blah." So he walked me home, we talked for another hour. And when he left, he asked for my phone number, which I gave him. And several days later, I got a call, and we had our first date. And we sort of clicked. And it looked like at one time we were getting really serious. So he looked at me and he said, Rhana, I've got to tell you something. I thought, oh, it's just like Paul Harvey. I get the rest of the story. I'm like, God, I hope it's not that he's married. And so he looked at me and he said, you remember when we met? I said, yes, I remember. Well, the bartender thought that I was a detective. And I thought, that's funny. I thought you were a Jewish musician. The bartender thinks you're a detective. And actually, what he really was an Italian diamond setter. But who the hell would ever think of that? So he says, all right, I'm going to tell you the story. The bartender thought I was a detective, and he looked at me in one and he said, get her out of here. She is not one of my girls. It was a pickup bar for all of the ships that came in at that part of Manhattan. I was deflated because I thought, oh, it wasn't that I was so attractive when he came over. He just got a assignment, he had to rescue me. And we were married for 56 years, and I have to say, because we were different, we were really different from each other, and humor is really what helped us over a lot of the bumps. Let me leave you with these couple of minutes. Laughter really is the best medicine, and try to perform random acts of kindness every day. Be well, and maybe you'll see each other next year.
Rhana Bazzini. That's amazing. I've never heard anyone do that. I've never heard a woman be upset that she wasn't a whore. Everybody put your hands together for Matt Rowden.
Well, guys, give it up for your last comment. All right.
She's lying about her age, by the way. We went to high school together. She just did a bunch of fentanyl after you. I love you, though. No, I was almost late here tonight, actually. I got in a car accident on the way here, right? People really underestimate how dangerous sneezing and driving is, right? When you're drunk driving, at least you have both eyes open most of the time. But when you're sneezing and driving,